happy to introduce a candidate for Texas Attorney General. And he was the go-to guy for all of the litigation against the Biden administration in Texas. He was the number 2 guy in Texas. His name is Aaron Reitz. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Hey, Glenn. I'm great. How are you?
I'm really glad to hear that you're running. Tell me a little bit so people know who you are. Tell me a little bit of your background.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. And I'm proud to share this news with Texans on your show for the first time. So, look, here's the deal. With Attorney General Paxton now throwing his hat in the ring for the United States Senate, it's giving Texans a once-in-a-decade opportunity to put what President Trump called me, a true MAGA attorney and a warrior for the Constitution, to succeed Paxton and keep his foot on the gas to press in hard on all of the things that Texans really care about, whether it's border security, election integrity, the attempts to trans our kids, the wokeification of our schools, environmental overreach, all of these issues. I've spent the past several years litigating, investigating, defending, and appealing, working hard on, and my body is covered in scars from the kinds of lawfare that I've been engaged in. And I think that Texas voters want to see their next attorney general continue on the aggressive, battle-tested path that we've enjoyed over the past several years. I think I bring that to the table. I think Texans want an AG who's built in that mold. And I think I want folks to join that fight by going to my website, aaronreitz.com, AARONREITZ.com.
So help me out on a couple of things. We are getting all kinds of pressures. The Soros people are just dumping money into Texas. And trying to make sure that Ken Paxton does not win, the Corrin race. And then I'm sure you're going to be a target of it as well. What are the things that we must preserve and must fight for in Texas to remain Texas? Because I think we're getting a little soft in some places.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Look, I understand with very clear eyes that we as a country and as a state are in the midst of really a civilizational battle for the soul and the heart of what it means to be an American and what it means to be a Texan. And there are forces out there who are extraordinarily well-funded, who see Texas as representing the best values and virtues of our country and our rich traditions, and they want to destroy it. And they've got unlimited money to move into our school districts, to our urban centers, to our HR departments in Texas-based companies. And they want to turn Texas into something that it's not, that it never was, and it never ought to be. And so what you need in the Texas Attorney General's office is a real MAGA warrior who's going to partner with the president, work with him, the administration, the Justice Department, and all of our allies within the state to really hold the line. The Texas Attorney General has vast investigative and litigating powers to hold these Soros-funded DAs and mayors and other blue state agitators and all of the nonprofits that are funding these riots that are happening not just in L.A., but in Austin, the state capital. You have to have an AG who is going to understand the nature of the threat and has the experience to be able to go into the arsenal of legal weapons that he'll have at his disposal and fight against the enemies of our country and the heart of what it means to be Texas. And that includes issues ranging from election integrity, border security, backing our cops, ensuring that our kids are not being indoctrinated with woke nonsense, that we're not harboring illegal aliens, and ensuring that when Texans go to the ballot box, that they can trust that their vote is being counted and that aliens and other, box stuffers are not being counted either. And if we don't have an AG that can hold that line, if you don't have an AG who has experience in that kind of legal warfare, I think it's gonna make Texas slip into the hands of the left before we know it.
What would you be doing if you were the Attorney General in California and you didn't have Governor Newsom on top of you? But what would you be doing if what was happening in California and you were the AG and it was happening here in Texas? What would you be investigating, doing? What would happen?
Yeah, it's funny you frame it like that, Glenn, because I announced my resignation last night from the Justice Department, and a lot of my friends who kind of knew what was going on, I was texting with many of them, and I said, guys, I'm resigning from the Justice Department so I can go get activated by the Marine Corps and go hold the line against these insurrectionists. So that, don't tempt me, Glenn, with a good time to suppress the insurrection that's happening in California. This kind of thing, by the way, Glenn, is happening in Texas at a different scale. If you were to look at images, I would just encourage you and your viewers to Google images of Austin protests, Austin riots. Right now in Texas, these sorts of things are happening. So what I would want to do as Texas Attorney General is reassure our local sheriff's departments and our police officers that we've got their back. What you're seeing in Texas, and this is actually happening, where you have Soros-funded DAs in all the major counties in Texas that are litigating against our police officers who put their lives, safety, and health and welfare on the line to keep our communities safe. And so I want cops to know that I've got their back. I want our families to know that I'm there to help keep the community safe. And I'm here to back the blue, enforce law and order, and ensure that Texas and our cities and our communities are places where you can live peaceably, invest prosperously, not have to worry about your stores getting looted by the rioters. And I think people, when they look into my background, they'll realize that I'm the guy that's fit for the job. And to learn more about me, I would encourage folks to go to my website, AaronReitz.com, AaronReitz.com.
You are very good, very, very good at that. So tell me about your challenger, because this guy is a huge GOP donor, been involved with the GOP forever. Wealthy oil and gas guy. He says he's going to spend at least $10 million on his election kickoff. You're against massive money and an insider with the GOP.
Yeah, look, I think that's right. But one of the things I've learned as I talk with major sort of Texas Republican primary grassroots leaders and influential figures in the state and folks who are looking to back a candidate who has a proven MAGA track record, someone who the president called a true MAGA attorney, someone who the president called a warrior for the Constitution, someone who has experience fighting alongside President Trump at the Justice Department, someone who has experience and a proven track record fighting along Senator Cruz, someone who has a proven track record fighting alongside Attorney General Ken Paxton as his deputy, and who has a long record of, like I said before, litigating, defending, suing, investigating, appealing on all of the major issues that Texans care about. I think that folks will look at my and any other challenger, whether it's the one you're referring to or, frankly, any other entrance into the race. There is not a candidate available right now at this time in history and in Texas's election season that is going to be able to prove that my body is covered in the scars of this war that we've been in. And so what I want folks to look at is not whether a candidate has played GOP politics as usual, not whether he has bankrolled organizations and other candidates to secure endorsements, not whether there's a flashy money play, but look at the records, look at the experience, look at the scars, look at the energy, look at the fights, look at the blood that has been shed, look at the threats that have been made. Ask yourself whose state bar license has been investigated. Ask yourself who has been doxxed. Ask yourself which, like Dick Durbin, the senior Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, called, quote, a danger to democracy, or Cory Booker, who during my hearing for the Justice Department said that I sent a chill down his spine. Ask yourself which other candidate is as feared by the left and has the scars to show that he's ready to show up on day one and be a MAGA warrior for Texas, to partner with this administration, uphold law and order, enforce the rule of law. And other people, I understand, they may try to outraise me, but I don't think that that's what Texans want. I think they want a MAGA warrior for the Constitution who's going to continue pressing in on Ken Paxton's fights, continue that legacy, work with this administration, and has the record to back it up. And for people, if they want to know more about what that record is and the issues, I don't just have a policy page. Your average politician has these are my issues. I've got a track record page. And so you can see that on AaronReitz.com, AaronReitz.com.
All right. Aaron, it is great to talk to you. You've been listening to a Marine, Texas top legal strategist under Attorney General Ken Paxton. He was the guy who led with Paxton, all of the lawsuits against Biden. He was the chief of staff for Senator Ted Cruz. Also has been appointed and just resigned President Donald Trump's head of legal policy under Attorney General Bondi in the Department of Justice. It is great to talk to you. Thank you for your service to our country and our state. And I wish you all the best of luck, Aaron. Really.
Thank you, Glenn. Look forward to fighting this fight along you.
You got it. Aaron Reitz, R-E-I-T-Z, Reitz, R-E-I-T-Z for Texas.com.